ministry here. So there we were, taking the blue line up to Los Angeles. We had political t-shirts, our convictions painted across poster board, comfortable shoes, and we got on the blue line to head up to LA. It was 2016, remember that year? So there was a lot to protest. We were heading up to protest family separations at the border. And as the train got closer to LA, more and more people got on, more political t-shirts, more signs, more excitement. You could taste the energy as we continued on. I love the energy of a protest. It is church to me. Like-minded people gathering, acting as an instrument for a greater good, singing, chanting. It's amazing. My first protest was in 2008 after California passed Proposition 8 to illegalize same-sex marriage. A friend of mine had shown up at my door, distraught. So I got in the car with her and we headed down because we'd heard there was a protest going on Broadway Avenue. So we get to Broadway and Cherry and there's just throngs of sad, somber people sharing this painful experience. And we joined them and walked along. And when we came to the intersection of Cherry and Broadway, everyone just stopped. And as though we had received a message from somewhere, we all just sat down in the middle of the intersection. The only sound was helicopters overhead. We looked at each other, we looked at the spotlight on the ground. And then just as though another message had been received, hundreds of people just rose, parted ways, and went home. I was in awe, and I have protested and occupied and marched and done what I can to fight policies that hurt people. So as these friends and I journey up to Los Angeles to join the protest about family separation, we get off the train and there's everybody at the, downtown center, and we just start walking in this kind of mass that has its own consciousness. And at a certain point, the group just stops, and everyone's kind of not sure what to do. And the word travels from the front of the march that we're going to go to the Women's Detention Center. So we turn and we head toward the Women's Detention Center. And when we get there, and of course I had driven past this building hundreds of times, but I never thought about the occupants. And as we stood at the bottom of this behemoth institution, our hands were just agape. It's solid gray with small rectangular windows set into the wall to limit the light that comes in and the view. And as we stood there just staring at it, unsure what to do, one of my friends who had come with us said, "Let's sing a song." And with her flailing arms in the air, she began to sing.
De colores se visten los campos en la primavera. De
Somehow,
colores,
I knew
de
that
colores
song.
son los pajarillos que vienen de afuera.
I don't speak Spanish, but all of a sudden I was singing along from someplace deep in my chest. I sang, everybody sang. It was amazing. And naturally, when I got home, I looked up the translation. And it's roughly, there are so many colors in the rainbow. And it is the love for these colors that brings us together. So we sang a few choruses, and my friend dropped her hands to indicate that we should be quiet. And we stood there quietly, hundreds of people, signs in hand, staring up at this bare wall. Then we realized through our silence these sounds, tapping, coming down from this wall. And we realized that people were inside, that they had heard us. and they were tapping things on the very corners of the windows. And you could see that some people had pen lights, and they were flashing them. And we stood there in awe, listening to their choired response. All they could do was the tapping, tapping, tapping. After a few minutes, our mouths agape. We chanted back, "We hear you. We see you. We are with you." Thank you.